Right now, our biggest concern is that the price of us going to any university in the United States is over $10,000 for a year, for a semester. The prices that people have to pay for tuition to get into a college is absolutely outstanding. Now, I don't mean outstanding in a good way, in the most horrible way you can imagine, because good people, good responsible young students as myself and my friends in the HACO internship, we'd like to stay here and study and continue to our master's, doctorates, or associate's degree, but it's very, very expensive.
Like Ramon, there are many Latino students who worry about the high college tuitions, and as Tina Galvez explains, a big percentage cannot even afford to give it a try.
What happens with Latino students in high school, once they reach junior year, they believe that they can't afford college, so they just end up dropping out or give up. And these are students who previously had a 3.5 GPA, are really well educated, but feel that since their parents can't afford for them to attend college, that they're not going to get to college.
But the economic crisis has only made things worse, and tuition prices have gone up even higher in an effort to make up for all the state budget cuts. And nationwide, students like Lázaro Sandoval can only hope that these problems were never a factor when it comes to quality education.
All those issues affect me. Issues such as education and ensuring that there's equality in education throughout the entire country, and that geographic factors or economic factors will not be obstacles in a quality education.
President Obama seems to agree. The American Recovery and Reinvestment Plan will create a new $2,500 tax credit for those paying for college tuitions, and it will increase college affordability for more than 7 million students by expanding Pell Grants. Because, as student Carlos Gonzalez states, today's students are tomorrow's future.
A lot of our future depends on what we're investing to the young adults now, because I mean, we are going to be the future later. Everyone's retiring already, all the baby boomers are going, and we need people to go in that are ready to do the work.
Well, Gustavo, does this kind of program make a difference between being able to go to college and not being able to go to college for students in a place like the University of the District of Columbia?
Well, I think it'll contribute greatly, because with terms of the tax credit and the Pell Grant, will create sort of more opportunities for our students, because our tuition and public universities generally are a little more inexpensive, a little less costly than, say, private institutions. Our tuition here is $7,000. So we feel that this would create, with the community college and the workforce development program, create a lot more opportunities for, particularly for working middle-class income, middle and low-income families. Now, addressing kind of the more immediate in terms of the community college and the workforce development, these programs, I think we get immediate results, because we're going to get students who are coming in or not ready for the workforce, and within a year or two, we'll be able to get them and getting them jobs. And perhaps it extends the time frame when they get a college degree, but at least during their college horizon time frame, that they will be able to get employment. So,
you just saw young students talking about the cost of attending college. When you raise tuition, do you know, when you do it, that there are some students right on the bubble, right on the edge, and they will leave school if you raise tuition?
Yes, we are aware that it's a bit of a hardship for them. But here at the university, we're also supplementing and fundraising to get financial aid to make sure that we don't lose any of these students through tuition increases.
Dan, earlier you heard Lily talking about how investing in her was a pretty good deal, because she got some money up front and then was able to make a much better living down the road. Is there reliable accounting when we cost out, when we sit with reams of paper and computers and figure out, okay, what's the payback on spending this kind of money? Is helping a kid like Gustavo described, who isn't job ready, but at the end of the process is, do we have some sort of decent expectation that spending that money gets you a big payback?
Well, it's actually very uncertain at this point, because we don't know exactly what value college provides for a college student. We do know that college and higher education opens the door to wonderful opportunities in the workforce and in life. And we should hope for many more children to be going to college and taking advantage of those terrific opportunities. When we look at these tax credits and new federal benefits for students, we should be asking ourselves of whether this will really address the problem of college affordability. Because for decades, federal benefits for college students have been increasing, and it has corresponded with consistent increases in tuition prices. And unfortunately, there's a risk here that the colleges and universities will just continue to raise their tuition prices. And in a sense, you're having taxpayers, many of whom do not have college degrees, are continuing to subsidize this very expensive growth in college prices.
Well, convince him.
Well, we have two choices. Either we can educate all the population so we can then be able to increase salaries of people who could not have a good job, and they pay money back into the federal and state coffers, and that money can be distributed back into the communities. So that's the only way we can go. Hispanic serving institutions, Hispanic serving colleges and universities really represent 268 colleges that educate a large number of Hispanic students. Over half, actually, of all students who attend college attend one of our Hispanic serving institutions. By investing in these institutions, and particularly the community colleges, you're able, within 2 years, you're able to get young people into the workforce and pay money back into the state system. If you don't go that route, you're going to have young men and women in dead-end jobs that pay very little and will contribute very little to the resources of the state. So for us, it's an advantage in pouring money into our community colleges, because that's where you get the quickest turnaround. In 2 years, you got a certificate or an associate's degree, and you're able to go into entry-level jobs that already pay much more than just a high school education. So you got to invest a little bit to make more. You know the old expression, it takes money to make money. Well, if you have more education and youngsters have a better training, they're going to be able to make more money and contribute more to the welfare of the entire society.
But is affordability attacking that old idea that you have to spend money to make money? Are colleges becoming so expensive that it's less clear to minority families that this is a worthwhile investment?